What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. Today I'm actually at a card show in Anaheim, and I'm with some fellas, and I just made a deal. These are playing Hustler, playing 5100 stakes, but all right, Gerardo.
Oh, bro.
We got the Gold Star PSA 8, Mudkip, Torchic, and Trico. I've been eyeing at these cards for forever and just found them, and I just bought them for you, so thank you for the deal. So $8,000 for each, essentially. No, $26,000 total that I just sent here in PayPal. So I've got a goal. I need to make $26,000 at least to break even from today, and I've just been eyeing at these Pokemon cards for forever, so it's nice to see them. They also watch and love poker, so it's just cool to support a local business and also get the cards that I've been dreaming of getting for so long. Shout out to Lead TCG behind me for facilitating the deal. And here we go. We got the dream trio of cards, my OG Pokemon starters. All right, we're back here, teleported Hustler. You can see Ryan in the background right there, making the show happen. It's running behind the scenes, but we got our buy-in here. We got some pressure to at least break even from the Pokemon cards that we just purchased from the card show, but I'm feeling pretty good. I'm considering I'm running hot now. Coming off of a win last cash game session, I just final table 2 tournaments on Club WPT Gold that I streamed, so that was pretty nice to cash for about 5K. If you want to play some online poker, feel free to join with code Rampage. Link in the description below. It's my favorite site to play, and let's test out this run good here. Big game today. Let's get it going. We're starting with $50,000 here, playing 5100, and I've got my lucky Torchic that I purchased on the table to defend my chips. Just 15 minutes into sitting down, fireworks happen. We are playing stand-up here, and I need a button. Dr. H raises to 800. Bulldog calls, Mariano attacks and 3-bets to 3,000. And with 6s on the button, it's a very important position here being on the button. I gamble on a call for 3,000. And then suddenly Mike X jams. I mean, there's so many players involved here, but luckily everyone folds and I've got an easy decision versus Mike X. It's only 17,000 more to call and I feel pretty priced in here, so let's hope for a flip. This is the best case scenario that I'm in. I'm ahead by a pretty good margin with a 70% chance to win $20,000 immediately. So let's just try to hold here.
And bottom set for Rampage. Mike X drawing very thin.
Really? King Queen or something? Yeah,
Can't hit a king now. 6 is full of 10s for Rampage, so Mike X gets stacked.
My 6s hold, and I end up stacking up all the chips. This is an amazing start to the day as I profit $24,000 on this hand. Peter starts off with a raise to 600 in this hand. Dr. H 3-bets to 2,500, and now I wake up with pocket jacks. It's a pretty great spot for me knowing that both of these opponents can be full of it. So I raise again to 6,500 now. Peter lets his cards go pretty quickly, but Dr. H has other plans, and he ends up making the call with less than a pot-sized bet behind. And the flop comes Ace Queen 9 2 hearts. Overall, a pretty disgusting flop for me, honestly. Yet, for some reason, I still fire out 2,500, and Dr. H quickly jams. I make an easy fold, so nice hand to Dr. H for hitting that ace and making more off of me on this flop. But if you like free money, I'm giving away $10,000 in prizes on this video today for all code Rampage users on Club WPT Gold. I'll be picking winners randomly for free tickets to enter their massive tournaments. All you have to do is enter your user ID and username in the comment section below. Make sure to use code Rampage to sign up if you're new and participate now as I'm choosing all of the winners today. We got more action to go through and Bulldog raises to 300, Mariano 3-bets to 1,300, and when you have all three of us just sitting next to one another, money will be put in the middle for sure. Knowing that both of them are capable of playing lots of hands, I take the initiative with King 6 suited and put in another raise to 4,800. Bulldog makes the call and Mariano ends up folding, so off to a flop we go of 10-8-7. There's 11,000 in the middle and 43,000 left to play for, and I just don't think I have the right hand to dump money in the middle just yet, so I check. And Bulldog puts out a pretty small bet of $3,200. With my weak straight draw and some backdoor potential, I decided to stick around and see a turn card, which is the Deuce of Spades. A complete blank, and I'm surprised to see Bulldog actually check this one back now, so I'm a little bit suspicious of what he might have. But the River Jack completely brings no help for me here, and now any 9 makes a straight. And honestly, I wasn't really sure what to do. I felt like bluffing for a small size would work a lot here. And clearly you can see I just torched $5,500 of my own money on fire and just gave it to Bulldog because he goes all in, I make a quick fold, and I'm downtrending here after the hot start winning $20,000 with pocket sixes. I've cooled down. I'm sitting at minus $7,000 for the first hour of the stream, but I pick up a beautiful 5-6 of diamonds. I raise up to 600, but L on my direct left bumps it up to 2,000. I decide to make a pretty quick call since my hand is playable and also quite disguised, and the flop comes ace 8-4 2 diamonds. Oh my goodness. Whenever I see a combo draw like this, I'm trying to get all the money in the middle. L starts off with a small bet of 1,500, and with about 18,000 to play for in his stack, I want to try to get all of it, and I check raise to 4,500. Here, facing my check raise, L continues with another call, and the turn jack of clubs comes completely no help for me, sadly, but I'm not one to give up. It feels like if there's ever a time to go all in as a bluff here, this hand is as good as any other. So I jam, which is worth a little bit more than the pot, and now I'm just praying for a fold. I mean, I've got 6 high, and L takes his time, which means there's a chance he actually might let his cards go. But if not, this is going to be a $44,000 pot, and I've got 6 high and a dream. And after some time, L makes the reluctant and correct call, and here we go. 6 high and a dream. My opponent wants to see 2 river cards, so can we bank at least one of them?
And the first one goes to Rampage.
3 of diamonds in the first one gives me the check mark.
They will chop it up as the...
So I guess it's kind of nice to at least hit one of the boards. A little bit painful as it came on the first run out and we end up chopping. The very next shuffle, we're playing the bounty game and I've got 2 buttons. So if I win this third hand in a row, then I win a bonus of $1,000 from everyone. So I'm hungry to win this pot. Peter raises to 1,100. Dr. H calls, and I just have to see a flop with 9-8 offsuit, and L calls too. Flopping Jack 9-8, bottom 2 pair, and with all these players in the mix, I really want to put money in the middle right now and pretty quickly. So I throw out 5,000 into the middle. It's about a pot-sized bet, and only Peter seems to have a hand that's worth calling. So heads up to a turn we go in the 10 of clubs. This is simply not the scary card we wanted to see, but I've also got an open-ended straight flush draw, which is kind of cool. But I check, not seeing how I can get any more value, and Peter fires out 5,500. I mean, for this price, I definitely can never fold, so I make the call here, and the river 8, we hit a boat. I mean, it literally feels like it's been forever since we've rivered anything mega strong like this. So I check to Peter, praying for a bet out of him, and after a decent while thinking, he does bet out 8,000. It's just beautiful seeing exactly what you wanted. The door is now open to not only take his 8,000, but also go for the rest of his stack too. I take some time before announcing the 2 magical words on as I ship my $35,000 stack into the middle. And honestly, I could look quite bluffy here. And we end up waiting a whole minute before seeing a call. So here comes a $95,000 pot coming my way, along with the extra $1,000 incentive from everyone else at the table. And now in the next shuffle, we've got the grand prize of this bounty game. Can we win 4 hands in a row, and parlaying 4 hands won would equal 2,000 from everyone, as the bounty is doubled now. So I straddle to 1,000 here, trying to realize my advantage of this bounty, and we end up getting folds all the way around to Dr. H and Bulldog. Now, my turn to take a look, and I see an ace. I mean, this is plenty good enough here. So with $12,000 in the middle for me to win, I announce all in. And it would be lovely to just see folds from both my opponents here and lock up the free money. But Dr. H ends up blocking my plans and calls off his stack. He really wants to run things twice, so once again, I oblige. Off to 2 runouts we go for $35,000, but that 12K bonus is only for the first runout.
Sammy, come on. Sammy, no.
Yes.
And there's a king.
8-8.
No.
Flop.
No.
And an ace for Rampage on the turn.
At least we can chop. Oh, that would be fun if we chop, then keep the game going.
So Rampage is going to win the super bounty game.
Somehow, some way, I find the miraculous ace on the first run out.
There's a 5 for Dr. H.
Maybe an ace is ahead.
And now 2 pairs, so Dr. H is going to get his stack back.
And Dr. H finds a magical king on the second board, so we chop this pot up. Once again, another friendly chop, but I did win the first board at least, so I pocket $12,000 from the bounty game here. In this next episode of the Sun Run session, I pick up 8s and raise it up to $1,200 with the $400 straddle on. Peter is never afraid to play hands as he makes the call, and the flop comes 10-7-5. I check here with a card over my pair, and Peter fires out 4,000, which is a pretty large size given the pot, but once again, I'm never allowed to go anywhere. I make the call. The turn, Jack of Diamonds, looks a little bit scary, but also gives me a straight draw, but no money gets put in yet. Everyone checks through. And the river, 10 of Diamonds. So the flush did get there, and any 10 is now trips. Typically a pretty bad card for my hand, but I just think Peter is capable of playing worse hands than mine in this fashion. So call me greedy, but I stick $7,000 into the middle, hoping somehow Peter can call with worse, and he flicks in a chip, and I see amazing news! This $25,000 pot gets shipped my way, and things are really starting to go my way now. We're 100 minutes into the game. I'm the big winner, up 73,000 so far, and everything, like I said, is basically going my way in the early goings. Here I put on the $400 straddle, and Peter starts off the action with a raise to 1,200. Mariano calls to 1,200, and I look at a premium here, and essentially this is the dream spot with a big hand against these two players. And I bump things up to 7,000, and to none of my surprise at all, both of these opponents call. We go to a flop of Jack, Jack, Deuce. And with $21,000 in the pot here brewing, I think this is a board that none of these opponents could have hit. So I bet around half pot to 11,000. But when Peter doesn't immediately fold, I'm getting some siren alarms running in my head. Then he ends up raising to 24,000, and yeah, I think I'm just forced to reluctantly fold my hand now. A little bit suspicious here, considering what he could have, but it's nice to see on screen with the graphics now that this was a wise fold. In the very next hand with the $200 straddle on, Mariano calls, and I raise the 10-9 of diamonds to 1,100. Yet now Peter wakes up again and 3-bets me to 6,200, which is huge. Anyways, it comes back to me, and with about $100,000 to play for in his stack, let's see a flop with two very playable cards. And we see a beautiful flop of 9-8-5, 2 clubs and a diamond. It's great for my hand with top pair, a lot of backdoor equity, and I check. Peter rips out a pretty large wager of $11,000, and I mean, I don't think I'm able to fold with how much opportunity is in here with my hand. Let's try to capitalize on all of it with a call and continue. The turn 6 of hearts, another pretty great card for me, connecting well with my hand and giving me the straight draw. Yet here, Peter decides to check this one back. And the river 7 of diamonds! We bink basically the nuts. It's a straight on the board, and I have one of the higher ends of this straight. And this time, I elected to go for a very small bet of 3,300. I'm hoping Peter would see this as weakness, and maybe he could try to bluff me off, perhaps. But he quickly calls, and I'll win this one, of course. I got a little too greedy, just going for 10% pot. It's definitely costed me some profits here. When you look down at a 40% of a royal flush draw, naturally you're going to raise, and I make it 600. Yet Peter decides to 3-bet to 1,500, and I guess we're just back to battling against Peter here. So let's hope to hit something good with my hand. Flop is 9-7-5. This is just not even close to being cool. Yet Peter decides to check this hand back. So we see a free turn card in the King of Hearts. I've improved to some sort of a straight draw, but definitely don't have super high hopes for it here. I check, and Peter fires out 2,400, which is a pretty big size given the pot. But maybe he could always be bluffing me, and considering I interact with some King X that he could have, I put him to the test with a check raise to 8,000. I don't know why I put 8,000 in the middle when Peter is very likely to battle. He makes the call yet again. And now the river 3 of clubs. Honestly, I was probably going to shut down on a lot of different cards, But when the flush completer comes in, it just feels like a really good hand for me to continue bluffing on. So I didn't sense him to have a flush at this point, so ambitiously I bet out 13,000, and Peter doesn't immediately make a fold, which is at least good to see. Really trying to have him fold out a 7 or something, but he does indeed call with top pair, which I can never blame him for, but it's a really bad hand by me as I give Peter over $20,000 back right in this hand. Bulldog raises a 700. Mariano bumps it up to 3,000, and let's keep this party going as I have queens. I'm next to act, and surely I'll make it more by raising it up to 8,000. Mariano now takes more action by raising again to $20,000. You know, Mariano is certainly capable of playing more hands than just aces or kings this way, so I'm not going to put in another raise. I'm just going to set a little trap and make the call and hope to see a safe board to fire everything left into it. And the flop comes 9-7-6, as safe as it possibly can be in a 5-bet pot. Mariano starts off with a half pot bet to 22,000, and now I think, let's just get it all in. I mean, pocket queens kind of need some protection, and honestly, getting Mariano to fold any 2 cards at this point would be just fine. I mean, given the track record I have against him, I just don't want to see how he sucks out on me anymore. So I go all in for the rest of my stack, and now he looks like he's in a tough decision to make. But at least I know I have the best hand, and whatever ends up happening, I can always just fall back on getting it in good with 70% here. Ultimately, Mariano does make the call, and here comes a $170,000 pot against Mariano. And a pot for this size, I'm just happy to see 4 more cards, please. Magic, who's dealing this game, has given me plenty of bad beats. Can I hold one time?
I have queens.
It's going to be done.
Is it going to come on the first river, probably?
Yeah. Well, that one's a safe one.
No, it comes.
He did say first river, not first.
It's always first river and then and then second turn.
Stop with that. Okay.
Rampage wins the first board.
He wants to win so bad.
Second river it is.
No, don't reverse psychology.
For sure, second river.
Don't think about it.
Give me a 10.
A 5 would work too. You back
10.
5.
10.
Okay. You win.
It's another brick, so Rampage is going to scoop.
Woo! Here comes all the chips in Mariano's money. It's been a long time since I've won a significant pot versus him, and it's about damn time right now. We're taking the chips, and Mariano's has been pretty hard to take in. So 3 hours into the stream now, I am cruising as the biggest winner of the game, up over 120,000. Yet we're only halfway through, so I'll have to keep playing well if I want to hold on to these chips. And as this next hand starts with a $400 straddle, I raise my hand up to $1,000 on the button. Bulldog 3-bets me to 4,000, and I think I'm happy to play a flop with the suited hand here. So when the flop comes 9-3 deuce, this is overall an amazing flop for me with King 9. He continues for 3,000, and I'm never folding. Happily call with top pair. The turn 8 of diamonds now slows him down with a check, and I'm assuming I just have to have the best hand a lot of the time. I throw out a smaller bet to 5,000, trying to get him to call off with a bunch of other random things, and he does make that call. The river comes aboard pairing 9, and this is even better, but I feel like it's also pretty hard for Bulldog to have much of anything at this point. So when he checks yet again, I bet 14,000, and it's followed by another quick call, so I'm not going to be too upset about not being super greedy, as this is still a $52,000 pot, and I get paid with trips. With the squid game on, and I'm one of the last people without a button yet, I limp in the queen 4 of diamonds, and this becomes a 4-way limp pot. With top pair on the board of queen 9-8, I just don't think I can ask for a better flop, and I'm trying to get some folds to win this pot. So I bet 1,500 into the middle, and Dr. H is having none of it immediately, and check raises to 5,000. I mean, honestly, I'm a little bit afraid with top pair right now, but I'm not convinced yet that I should fold. So I make the call, and the turn ace, just one of the worst cards to see. And I don't think it should improve my opponent too much either, yet Dr. P decides to just go all in. I mean, what in the world is going on? This is a massive jam, nearly 5x the pot. So I'm confused, but I guess ultimately I just have to let go of second pair with how much money was pushed into the middle. I fold and give Dr. H my $5,000. Before the next hand we're going to go over, the scoreboard says I'm up over $140,000. And after giving a few thousand back, I'm still the biggest winner by far. Moving on with a $400 straddle, Peter raises to $1,500, and I look down at a very playable ace-7 of diamonds to call and see a flop. And what a glorious another flop we see in 10-9-6-2 diamonds. I mean, it can't get better than this. I got the nut flush draw, got a straight draw, got some overcards. I check to Peter, who fires out 2,000, and you just know damn well this pot is about to get pretty huge. I check raise to 7,000 now at this point, and Peter obviously is not going to be folding just yet. In the turn, King of Clubs brings in a backdoor flush draw, and honestly, I've got a pretty bad feeling about this opportunity now. With a card over the board, the king isn't really good for me either, so I check, and Peter piles in the money. It's $14,000 to be exact. And I just start listening to this cloud of negativity that's been consuming my head lately, and the only thing I can think of is how much will I lose? The last few months, I've just never hit any of my draws. I've never really won facing a big bet. And I'm just not really comfortable and probably out of my elements. But I just muck my straight draw and decide to just live to fight another day, move on with the rest of the session. But yeah, this was a really tough fold. And honestly, I'm even surprised that I made it happen. Then a few moments later, Dr. H raises to 500. Bulldog raises to 2,000. I've got ace-10 offsuit. I mean, yeah, I could certainly let this hand go, but I know both of these opponents can be up to no good, so I raise it yet again to 8,000. I'm really trying to represent having a strong hand here, yet Bulldog still calls. And the flop of 5-5 deuce, not the best board for me for sure. So I decided to bet 5,000, as I imagine it would generate a lot of folds. But now my opponent raises to 15,000, and I just really don't have it in me, to be honest. I make another fold now, and maybe this is starting to get to my head, as I just don't see the cards until the graphics are out in real time. So definitely some self-doubt creeping in, as I've lost a lot of my profits from today. This next hand we're going to go over is brought to you by the Bounty Game. I've got 2 buttons in front of me, and if I win this next hand for 3 in a row, I still win $1,000 from everyone at the table. So it's a $7K incentive here. A few players limp to me, and I decided to call 2 for just 200. But now Peter decides to ruin the party with the raise to 3,000. Well, what's cool is that everyone ends up folding back to me, and you know damn well I'm not going anywhere. I'm here to see some flops. And the flop comes Jack 9-3, 2 hearts. It's second pair, but certainly cannot be good enough. I check it to my opponent, and he fires out $3,500, and I will happily oblige, because I've heard great reviews about this place, and I see no reason to quit them. With the turn, 8 of spades. Pretty great card now, as I have a straight draw along with my top pair. Action checks back, and we're going to see a king of hearts on the river. Honestly, now I'm just a little bit confused. I mean, this is pretty much a horrible card for my hand to see, and I decided to spaz out 8,000. I don't really know what's going on here, but I feel like I just can never get called by worse, but only run into stronger hands. So, don't really have to be strategic out here, but obviously I give Peter some thousands of dollars to win this pot and the bounty game, which is really all he cares about.
As Peter Hero calls and Rampage wins the bounty game, will collect 1,000 from each of his opponents.
Nearing the end of the session, I've got 6-9 offsuit, and this hand somehow becomes a 6-way limped pot to a flop of King 6 deuce. Looks like a whole lot of nothing going on here as action checks around, but we see another turn deuce. And this time, I'm trying my best to either win the pot or just get some protection from overcards. So I bet $300 and only Mike X makes the call. So far this pot is super small, but the river comes another deuce. I mean, this just looks super safe for me now, right? Like, how can Mike X ever have a king? How can he ever have a deuce? How this hand ended up playing out makes no sense. But for that reason, I decided to go for a pretty large overbet of 2,200. And this might have seen a little bit more on the greedy side because Mike X raises to 12,000. I mean, this is a massive size, and I'm pretty confused about what's going on here, to be honest. Mike and I have had some history, so there's a chance he might be bluffing me or trying to own me in some way. Yet I still just decide to make an undisciplined call, just to see, what could possibly go wrong, besides running into quads, of course. So somehow I found a way to lose the maximum in this insanely small hand. But at this point in the night, I'm up about $94,000, and we've got another hour left or so to the stream to maintain and hold on to these chips. And for one of the last hands of the night, I pick up 10-7 of diamonds on the button. There's a $400 straddle on. I raise to 1,000 here, and Bulldog comes in hot with a 3-bet to $5,000. Like I said, I've got a suited hand, and I'm not afraid to play. We're going to see a flop of Jack 7-5 Rainbow. Bulldog starts off with a pretty large wager to 7,000, and considering I've flopped a pair, how can I possibly go anywhere? The turn now is the Ace of Hearts. Well, this now is certainly not the card I wanted to see. Probably one of the worst I wanted to see. Anyways, Bulldog unrelentingly fires out $19,000. And sitting with third pair, I just feel worse and worse about this hand. So I let it go. Gotta give credit, well played to Bulldog. But this hand will conclude the stream, locking up a win. Stream just wrapped up. I've got chips. The total in for 50, out for something like this. And lost every single pot for the last 3 hours, but I'll take the win anytime. So I have no complaints. Nice to book another winning session, and we'll keep this train moving along.